Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Steins Gate and Steins Gate the movie. And I really enjoyed this anime. And I don't say it lightly that I think that this has become my favorite anime, and one that I think should be held up alongside of like Cowboy Bebop. And what a good anime is, with how it should be able to appeal to people who like anime and to people who don't know if they like anime. Just be like, I kind of want to see what anime is about. This is a good anime to show the examples of how good story and characters and a very tight like premise are able to come together and really show something special. And I'd wanted to check out this anime for a while because I'd heard some stuff about it, getting back into anime after a while. And I saw it was cheap on Amazon, picked up the complete series, and as I was going through it, I was like, I really like this. And then I saw that they also had the movie as well, and how that was like a sequel and supposed to wrap up the series. I'm like, I have to get that too. And I gotta say, they were able to really effectively do a good job getting through the story arc of what was going on and providing really good closure for everything that happened within the series with the movie. And they really have a lockdown on that premise, that being time travel. And they really keep to their own internal logic and don't really break it. It's really kind of cool to look through and see what's going on in the show. Also, like in the beginning versus the end, and seeing the little hints and everything that's dropped throughout about what's going on with the time travel. How does it work? How does it affect all these characters? And also showcasing that as well in shots of like buildings and different places, showing how changing the past has changed this world. Like in the beginning, you see that there's a lot of otaku-like places with like a maid cafe, manga, and anime and all that kind of stuff. But then due to certain changes, the businesses are different. They're not there. They're further away from where our characters live. And it's just really kind of cool seeing that. That also moves into like certain shots and everything where you see the world that you're like in at the moment is kind of different than the world that you were, and not just seeing the shops, but like color of the sky, brightnesses of like the sunlight, how buildings kind of look. It's really kind of cool. And the way they do their shots also works into like really developing the characters, either showing who we should focus on, showing what we should focus on, if they're like looking at a character's face to show their reaction, if they're keeping it panned away from a character's face so that we can hear their reactions and their voices. Very well done, and I could really say that the anime, like the animation, I really didn't see anything that bothered me or kind of threw off the style of what was going on in the show. Like, the humor in it was very well done in that, you know how in certain anime they go for the overly expressive kind of thing? That usually works if that's the humor that's set up. Here they keep it more to a grounded kind of realistic level, like since it's similar to our world, we wouldn't feel out of place being in this world. And it's they really nail it with that, because some anime that it's like, oh, this is a world just like yours, except with this and this, and you're like, ah, no, because the characters react in ways you're instantly able to snap onto the technology and be like, oh, yeah, that's a couple years old because of the time lapse that I'm watching it through, but yeah, I remember that kind of stuff. And of course, this wouldn't work as well as it would if the cast of characters weren't something to latch on to. And here they do a phenomenal job with that, down to the voice acting, of evoking the emotions of what's going on with the characters, to the backstories of the characters. Because, of course, time travel's involved. Sometimes they change stuff with certain characters, and seeing how that affects them and what we kind of learn about them along the way is really gets you invested in who the characters are and what they're going through. And I don't believe that any of the characters are kind of like superfluous in this. You know how sometimes you get into an anime and like Bleach, where all the characters explode and you're like, nobody's getting the development that they deserve. Oh my god, what's going on? Here, the main focus on the main cast and even like the supporting cast is never really outdone. Of course, they sometimes focus more on one character or another. One character in particular is kind of the main protagonist, and we kind of are seeing it through his point of view, and it's pretty effective when in the movie we switch to the other main character pretty much throughout the show to kind of get her perspective on what's going on and how she thinks of what's happened with the time traveling as well. But that doesn't really dilute the fact of the other characters and their interactions with these characters. And I just have to hand it to them of being able to write very distinctive characters with very different personalities that you would feel at home like, oh, I can relate to these people because they seem like my circle of friends. Or this character seems like someone who's similar to my sister or my brother or this weird crazy friend that I've had. They're able to make them relatable without making them completely like one-dimensional or just kind of overblowing them. They're all kind of multifaceted, and that really makes it the key to this anime of having a very strong premise of the time travel and adhering to the rules set within this world, while also making sure that we understand the human parts of what's going on in this world with the characters and the consequences that they face with this technology. And I can't recommend seeing this anime enough, because it just really shows what can be done when people know how to write a story, know how to write characters, know how to write the premise, and just interweave these with great animation and great direction and great shots to where you feel like everything's kind of epic going on, even if somebody is just sitting there talking to their friends and talking about something when suddenly this new development happens or someone thinks of something. So if you're really into sci-fi anime in a realistic, grounded way in a world like ours with really good characters and development, I really can't recommend seeing this anymore. You really should pick this up if it's especially a pretty good price that what Amazon was putting it at. I just really think this is an awesome anime. So those are my opinions on Steins Gate and the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.